thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're good. It's a pleasant Friday where I am. It's good day too, cold though, a bit, there's some grays, like it's going to be warm during the later in the afternoon. I hope you're fine. Grateful that another week is over and we are grateful for this week, for another day, and for time to be here present during this time. I want to thank you all for joining me, and thank you so much for taking time to get more on resilience as you make and develop your resilience. It's that time when you need to be more resilient than ever before. It's one time in your lifetime when you'll be happy when you look back to see that you did what you could and you developed your resilience. Welcome to today. My name is Winnie Kamuya, CEO, International Renaissance Center, an international best-selling author, a speaker, and a coach. Today, I want us to look at building your resilience by using optimism and being positive, having a positive thinking. Do you have optimism, or are you always thinking of the worst case scenario? That's one thing that we need to look at today, and that's what I want to look at, because I know we can be faced with so much that we reach a level where we feel, I want to give up. But imagine, at this point, you are not the only one facing this challenge. Indeed, all of us are. And if all of us are, we can give each other the courage to move on. And that is why it is important for you and I to learn how to be optimistic and to learn how to apply a positive thinking mindset, because that will help us when the negative thoughts, when our minds begin to wander away. And so, what is the role of optimism and positive thinking in resilience? How do we apply this in our life? Positive thinking, optimism is important because it helps us mentally. Our mental health is important. In an earlier video, we talked about mental hygiene. You need to protect yourself from stress and anxiety. We are going through a lot of stress and anxiety during this time. And if we are not careful, we can get ourselves mentally ill, because when we are not coping with the stress and the anxiety, then we can get to a point of no return, which is not good for us. And that is why it is important for us to learn how to be optimistic and how to have a positive thinking, so that we can be able to face the challenge and the adversity that we are facing. And that is really important, because if we are going to bounce back, get back, if we are going to be able to say that we are resilient, then we need very high levels of resilience in terms of optimism and also positive thinking. We can say that when we don't have this, we might drown ourselves in negative emotions and really start thinking that everything is happening and happening to us alone. That is not the reality. At this moment, we are all facing times that are uncertain, and because they are uncertain, we have to either adapt, change, because then if we don't adapt and change, we might feel that our adversity or our challenge that we are facing is going to swallow us. And you know, when you reach that point when you look at things and you just say, I've surrendered, then it means that you are not at a good place. You want to avoid that. You want to make sure that whatever is the threat, whatever is the stressor, whatever is the tragedy, whatever is the adversity, whatever it is that you're going through, you can manage yourself and manage your mental health, so that you know you have another day. And if you can have another day healthy, then you can be able to go through. So your attitude matters, your ability to adopt on optimism and cultivate a positive mindset and learn how to have emotional management is very, very important. And I believe you can be able to cultivate that because within all of us, we have the ability to develop skills and mental, emotional, physical that can help us face adversity and still go through successfully and be able to learn from that. So if we have such an adversity and we overcome, it means next adversity or challenge that comes, it becomes less stressful, it gives us less anxiety because already we expect that we have the ability to overcome, and we know and trust and have faith in our own abilities that we will overcome. And indeed, if we can overcome, then we have to remind ourselves that this is temporary. I always say, this shall pass too, and we have to have the strength and wisdom to overcome. We know that when we are optimistic, we will not give up easily, and that is what is required. We are going on a long stretch. It's gonna be risky. It's requiring us to change the way we think and maybe accept as we adopt, because as we adopt, we're learning new things. Then we know that we are gonna be okay. Later, we will have grown in ways that we could not imagine. So instead of feeling that it's a threat and you shut down, maybe it's time for you to think at how can I be creative? How can I be productive? How can I think differently? So that right now I'm facing an adversity, a challenge I've never faced before. Instead of shutting down, you start looking for ways to handle and deal with it. And when you are able to deal with it, you will be able to go around, or you will be able to face whatever it is that you are facing. I believe you can do if only you begin to believe in yourself. And you can only start to believe in yourself if you start looking at the optimistic side. Everything we face has a silver lining. If we can start asking ourselves, what is the silver lining on this challenge that I'm facing, on this obstacle? Then we will move from a point of helplessness to a place where we can find solution, where we feel we have some control. Because normally, when we feel we can't control, we begin to panic and get anxious. And that is what we want to move away during this time. Optimism is a motivational tool that helps people to take action when they normally wouldn't. Imagine thinking that this will come to pass and it is temporary. What can I do? You have motivated yourself to believe that you can do something about it, and you can do it for yourself for sure. You can do that. And you know, when you're optimistic, your physical health will allow you to rest properly so that you can be able to look and prepare for action, because at the end of it all, you want some action. You don't want to remain there worried and thinking that everything is out of control. No, optimism will boost your physical health, improving your ability to build and maintain friendship. Imagine having a strong network of friends, association of friends, family, relatives supporting you and telling you, this too shall come to pass. Everyone is believing and having hope that this too shall come to pass. With that, your relationship, and with that, emotionally, you will be fine. Optimism also helps with your immune system. Remember, when you're facing too much anxiety and stress, your immune system also can go down. You need to be cautious, that you are not allowing yourself to get too anxious, too stressed to a point that your immune is getting lowered. You want to believe, you want to trust, and with support from others who have maybe gone through other adversities, then you want to believe that these too shall come to pass. Positivity does not mean that you ignore what is happening. It is accepting what is happening and allowing yourself to take things as they are and looking for ways in which you know you can control your part, where you can focus. Because if you focus on things that you can't control, definitely you are going to feel a lot of frustration. So if you know that this particular part I can control, if you know you can control certain things, then you focus there, because the things you can't control will give you more stress, and that's what you are walking away from. You are walking away from stressful situations that will also make you be anxious, because we know that coping mechanisms are necessary when it comes to dealing with uncertainty and stress. And this can be something that cannot be built without optimism and positive thinking. Resilience is learning how to build those two. So if you can learn how to do it, good. So resilience is not saying that you'll never experience stress or difficulty in your lives. No. This life, we are saying we're living in modern times and we have like everything. Still, we are faced with challenges. The challenges are different, but there are also challenges that are within our ability to cope. So our challenges right now, our great parents, they also faced. So each level, each generation will face their own different challenges. So if you are resilient, then you'll experience less emotional distress when faced with adversity and challenges. And I want to believe that as you're building your resilience, then you know that you are getting stronger emotionally, physically, and you can manage to control yourself and understand that there are certain things you can control, there are certain things you've got to let go. Because once you learn how to let go, then it's less stressful and you have less stress, less anxiety. So resilience is building connections. When you have these relationships, and you'll have them because you need support. You need friends around you, family around you, and you need people around you. This is one time that you know when you get support, emotionally you feel good. And it's important because when you feel you're supported by others, imagine, you know that I'm not alone. And since I'm not alone, it means that I know I will overcome. It shall come to pass. It's temporary. So resilience is also fostering wellness. You know, one of the things that has really sparked this time is to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. So how do you take care of yourself? Self-care means you care for me before you care for anybody else. So how do you care for me? How do you care for yourself? Because it starts with you. You care for yourself by making sure you sleep well. And sleeping well means sleeping enough. They recommend 8 hours of sleep. Do you have 8 hours of sleep? That's good rest. Eat well and healthy, not just eating health, food that will help and support your immune system. You want your body to be able to deal with the anxiety, the stress level, anything that can attack it. Do you exercise often? you're not exercising, oh, we should be worried about it because you should be doing some exercises. Do you hydrate? Water. Are you drinking enough and plenty of water? Are you looking after yourself? Because it's important for you to look after yourself. Feel it. It's important for you to feel really good that you're taking good care of yourself. Not that you're facing adversity so that you start letting go of yourself. No, 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 no. That will get you into a depressive mode, and you don't need to be depressed about it, because in any case, everyone else is going through and they are also feeling challenged, and you want to be up and about and believing that this too shall come to pass. I believe in you, and I want you to know that God believes in you. If no one else believes in you, God does. He has allowed you to be here present, and if you're present, then it means you should believe in yourself. So believe in yourself. Okay, shun negative habits. What are your negative habits? During this time, it's one time you say, like, let me just drink off, let me just abuse this, abuse that, let me eat so much without caring whether you're feeding your body healthy. In fact, you need to find out, and I'm sure if you're not following a healthy eating plan, there's plenty right now available online for free. Get that, and you start eating healthy. Plenty of fruits, plenty of green, dark green vegetables, very healthy. Plenty of fresh juice. I take a lot of beetroot juice. You want also to make sure that you're taking herbal teas if possible. I'm not a nutritionist, but those are some of the things that I love to take. I know they are important for the body. You find out from your nutritionist what is great for you to make sure you're feeding yourself properly. So there's no time for you to allow yourself to get involved in any way of bad, negative habits or abusing any substance whatsoever because of what is going on. Then find a purpose. When you find purpose, you build your optimism. Then you can step forward and foster yourself and your self-worth by doing something that means a lot to you. Imagine helping other people. Just look at yourself at a point of, I can do this for others. I've seen a lot of people, like, even donating and providing support for people who have been affected during this time. You can do something. You can do something. There are many people who will appreciate even one meal for just one day. People will really appreciate. Do or find something that you can do to help others. Be proactive. Don't sit there and feel sorry or mourn, because that will not help you. You need to find out what is one way I can solve or face any of the issues that I'm facing, and if I can do anything. Don't sit and say, I'm waiting. Waiting for what? It's time to move. In fact, they say this is one time in history new sets of problems are cropping up. So if you are moving from a place of saying there are no opportunities, I want to tell you that right now there are opportunities. If only you have an open mindset, you will notice that the opportunities right now arise from the challenges we are all facing. We are facing a different sets of opportunities. So what opportunities are surrounding you? This is one time in history where if you are knowledgeable, you might end up having an opportunity you didn't expect. Just have an open mind and you'll find the opportunity. Moving forward, Allow yourself and give yourself permission that have faced this. It is time to let go and move forward. Do one small activity, one daily. Allow yourself to move forward. You've identified you can do one thing. Do that one thing. And every day, one activity will move you forward. Don't sit there and wait. We find strength we didn't know when we overcome difficulty and when we face adversity. We learn more about ourselves, we discover more about ourselves because there are times when we don't need certain skills, then we are comfortable, but when faced with certain situations, we discover more about ourselves. Then embrace positivity, because one of the things is to allow you to control your thoughts and feelings. This is one time you have to control your thoughts. When they wander away or when you wander away, bring back your thoughts and be focused and allow yourself to stop wandering away, because that is what will bring thoughts, negative thoughts that will stress you, and you don't need stressful things. And when, especially when you're wandering away, you'll find yourself getting distracted and noticing things that you didn't want and things that can stress and bring anxiety to you. Bring your thoughts together and stop yourself from having those negative thoughts. So if you have to find ways to ensure that you stop getting distracted, find things that will bring you back or will motivate you. Okay? Negative thinking can be a habit and you can change it. How do you change negative thinking? Okay, so when these negative thoughts come, what do you do and how do you help yourself to bring yourself back to positivity? Remember, it's your job to weed out negative thoughts at any time. You have to do the job of weeding out the negative thoughts. And I want to give you 4 ways you can use to deal with your negative thoughts, your negative beliefs. Because sometimes negative thoughts can make you want to believe what you are thinking about. So how do you deal with negative thoughts when they just begin to appear and you start finding yourself wandering in those negative thoughts? Number 1, so you have a debate with yourself and ask yourself, of course, this is happening in your mind, and you're asking yourself questions and you are thinking about these things. They are playing back, and you need to stop that conversation. The best way to debate something is to prove it factually incorrect. A negative response is something that you can do that to. Ask yourself, is it correct? Are the facts correct? If they are not correct, then why is the tape playing back again and again? It's not true. There is no facts supporting that. That is very helpful, because if there's no facts, that goes away and you're good to go. Number 2, find an alternative explanation. Well, this happened. What is the other alternative explanation that now I need to deal with this negative thought? If you find it is non-personal, temporary, or specific, then you want to find out. Because when it is like, I'm the one who caused it, oh, maybe, yeah, it is so and so. No, it's not about me. It's about something else. That can also help to remove your negative thought, to find the alternative explanation. Number 3, you can't just live with negative thoughts. You have to ask yourself, now, these negative thoughts, if I keep having them, they're playing in my mind, they're really playing tricks on me. I need to think and ask myself, if I continue holding this negative belief, and maybe it's not based on any truth, what are the consequences? Because sometimes when you think about the consequences of something, it brings you back to present. Like, no, I can't face that. That's not true. I don't want to go through that. I will stop right there. So that is another way. Number 4. So it's not even enough to look at the consequences. You have to examine whether they are useful. Are those consequences useful? Will they help me? No, they will not help me, so I need to stop this on its tracks. Because in any case, who wants to have a tape playing all the time? Same story, the same old story playing all the time. And you're not saying this is not true, there is no facts, there is no supporting evidence. I don't think if it plays, it gives me good results. I don't want its consequences. I believe you are one person who wants to act on something that you know will give you results and outcomes that you'll be proud of. You want something that you know, this one I support. So when you do, then you can be able to say to yourself, I'm proud of myself. So you have 4 ways to deal with the negative thoughts. This will help you to stop having negative thinking and to change that pattern for yourself. And again, positivity and optimism. What does it do? Positive role models. Have you found any role models that you can say these are role models that can provide me the positivity that I need, that I've never had? Earlier, the last few weeks, I looked at various role models. And if you didn't watch on the role model who's discussed about positive mindset, please go back and watch the video. Important, because we need people who can show us we can be positive. And if we're surrounded by positive people, for sure, we change our attitude and we will always feel and know that we can remain positive because we can see there's evidence. They say success leaves clues. So if we can see that clue, a living clue, then that could change what we are thinking about. Lastly, most important, practice gratitude. I began by saying, thank you, God, and grateful for this day, because gratitude is very important in promoting positive thinking, because they say actually positivity and negative cannot be at the same place. You can't feel positive and negative at the same time. So you have to feel one. Which one do you want to feel more of? I think positive, because when you feel positive, your immune is higher, you're feeling good about yourself. And remember also, when you're feeling good, it's also contagious on the people around, because they'll be wondering, why are they feeling good? What is it that we are missing? Without your knowledge, they will also have to, like, I don't know, like, reflect back. They will reflect back your positivity, and they might even be, they might start feeling positive too. So practice gratitude, and you make sure that that can help you increase your positivity. And in each day, you can make a list of a gratitude list. Grateful for the sun rays, I can see they are coming up for another day. It's a Friday. God, thank you for that. What are you grateful for? So prepare your gratitude list, read over it, and that will remind you how far you have come. And it will remind you how resilient you are. Because if you are not, you'd not be here today. So you are resilient, and you've done well to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I know one thing, when you want to become that resilient leader, you will, because I've given you so much in terms of being optimistic and positive. Pick one, not two. Practice it today, even if it is gratitude. And watch yourself every day as you become resilient, appreciating each day that you have something to be grateful for. So go back and look at all those options and just pick one and practice it daily. You will see a big difference in your life. So thank you for watching and thank you for getting time to join me. If you're watching on replay, please feel free to share and also feel free to leave your comments and feedback below. Until next time, I know that you're going to be an optimistic person and you're going to develop a positive thinking mindset. I believe that those two will help you become a better resilient leader. Until next time, it's a goodbye for now. Make great today and make sure that this day today is one of the days that you say, I was there and I felt it. And I know my grandchildren will always be proud that I was here during this historic time. So goodbye.